you should have dropped another EP instead of an album. But then an album also, further solidifies your how relevant you are in the industry, because
guys, what's up? What's good? Yes, it's your boy, The Key. I'm chilling with the MSG man, talking about Donny First Key.
Yo, guys, money shall.
Money shall what?
now go one day, my man, but I don't be talking.
Money shall where? Money shall come,
Money shall come.
Oh my god. Anyways, guys, it's Friday. You guys should go out, get some fun, enjoy yourself, live life like there's no tomorrow.
Bro, nobody advise you. If you perish, you perish.
You guys, bro, spend that money. That's what you save. Last.
Next of kin, I ain't going.
Next of kin, I say enjoy. So just go get yourself good fun and everything.
I don't get sense.
Whoa, they will save your 3 years. They will spend it like one night. Anyways, guys, we have a different conversation today. Very, very funny conversation. Not just funny, but then one that's giving put some artists under undue pressure that really is not important.
The pressure is getting worse.
It's getting worse. Yeah, we're talking about artists, or upcoming artists, or artists who just got to the big field and everything, and then they're under pressure when it comes to album. Yeah, maybe especially for those who have actually enjoyed like good streak of run when they drop like 2 projects. When they drop like 2 projects and they're like talk of the streets.
Yeah.
Drop the first one, talk of the street, second one, talk of the street, then third, fourth, fifth is not really that one again. Now the pressure of giving us good albums always on their head, and most time they end up giving us rubbish because you want to build that standard. What do you think you're responsible for all of this?
Well, first off, I think, as an artist, your major work is to record songs.
Yeah, you said this before.
Right? So, and then if you've recorded, over 50 songs, you've dropped maybe 2 EPs. EPs about 4 or 5 tracks, maybe 6 tracks max, and then the fans are loving it and they are calling for more songs. The next thing you do is to drop an album that contains a lot of songs with different vibes and different rhythm and melody and tune. So I think that's one of the things that leads to albums. Another thing that leads to artists dropping album is for award bodies to recognize you. There are instances where we used to have eddies that eddies usually categorize next rated to those that blew up in a year and then that have an album before they would put you in that space, an album or an EP or something. At least you have a project that is out and people are loving, and then everyone loves your project. So if you do not have an album, most likely you would not be putting. You not be put. I say Putin call Obama. You not be in that category and stuff. And then there's also the Grammys best world album.
Yeah,
like you need to have an album, obviously.
You have to have one,
to be in that category. And at times maybe pressure from the fans, because now the fans would say, Baba, okay, you've dropped single. Baba, give us album, drop album, drop album. We want album. And then you also like, this song. Put it together and then you drop an album and then voila starts.
Yeah, the thing is now if you say their major job, obviously which I think we all believe that as an artist, your major job at the moment is that you go to the studio and you record song. You don't have any that's your primary work. The same way a banker goes to the bank and his job in the bank is make sure people money are saved. That's the same way as an artist, you should just make sure you are recording. But then
same way we are here too.
The same way we are here
on your screen.
Always on your screen, So if that is their job, why are they? Because you also give us jam, give us good songs. So why do you think they have to be under any pressure? Since it's their work, they should have it like in abundance.
Yeah, I get. The thing is, the fans are the ones listening to you. They are the ones gassing you up. Telling you that we love this song, and then drop something similar. Let's look at some songs that's dropped. For instance, once an artist drop a big song and then the fans love it, the next song they drop would almost
look like that.
Sound like the previous song that they dropped, because the fans love this. Let's give them this, and then it happens a couple of times. And then at the end of the day, fans get tired and like,
give us something else.
And then that's when issue now start happening, because they are used to that sound, but then they are so tired of it, and then you now give them something else they do not like
it,
and you now start running their task at what will I do, because bro, they are the one making you, getting you the
That's
bag,
true. That's
getting
true.
the revenue. So indirectly, you still have to also, listen to the fans, serve them what they want at some point.
Anyways, we're going to be taking you guys through a journey of some artists and their projects. Some have had amazing projects, some not so amazing, some amazing at the time and now MIA. And let's see how some of these guys have been able to overcome the pressure or how some of them entered the pressure. So let's see. And we're going to begin with
Mr. Money with the vibes right now. This one will be pressure.
This one get pressure. This
one the pressure.
This is the pressures because
just give us songs. Now we
like
tired.
CKay is not scared of dropping anything at this moment. No. Like he just record down, Bado.
Alpha.
Let's drop it. Boy, you know go back.
Drop.
Give them Farabale, give them.
CKay the pressure also.
Also when he came through with MMWTV, Mr. Money with the Vibe. This one, would you say it was because of it? Because we know he had an amazing run, from the beginning, he had like a very successful run. Do you think that was what influenced the album to be successful?
I wouldn't say because of the amazing run. I would say because of the quality of the album itself.
Okay.
It's proving us wrong that guys, I cannot just do one sound.
Yeah, true.
It's not just on my piano. That's why we have some 3-4 different sound on the album. If you listen to it, the opening track was dull, like bro, is not the
it's dull like
dull. You get me? So it's not the like it's some inspirational high vibe, high spiritual song, and it started off like that, and then it went on drop Zaza. There's rush. There's autotune. Is it Reason? Yeah, Reason with Josh.
Yeah.
So it's just different vibes, and then it gives you that okay, this guy is actually he means business and is here to stay. And there's also a ritual at YBN that once an artist comes, you must drop projects because they do not want people to see you as a monotonous artist with one style. True. Same thing they did with Fireboy. When he came with Jealous was buzzing. He gave us that album, and then everybody picked their fave, from the album.
Bro,
Olamide is an album man. He drops album every year, so you can tell that he has to definitely influence his boys. CKay also dropped the EP, and then after the EP,
followed up with an
album, and it's amazing, impressive.
Mr. Money with the Vibe album, an impressive one. Talking about the devil himself, Fireboy. Fireboy actually came at the time he did amazing one, like you said, dropped Jealous. I remember that Jealous time. It was bro. It was everywhere. It didn't sound like a song I would like at first. It didn't sound like what I would like at all. But then people started singing there, started sitting there in my head. Well, I was like,
I'm actually going to play the album after this show.
I think we should. And yeah, I came out with this one, Laughter, Tears, and Goose,
bro. One of the best debut album ever. Like one of the best, bro.
Ever.
This album is choke with bangers.
Differently. Oh yeah, do you think what happened to Ashake was also what followed up with Fireboy? Because
I think so. When it comes to selecting good boys, Olamide is very good at that. And then when it also comes to managing them, he's also quite good. He got a good team, with him at YBN, and you can tell from the guys that have been coming out recently how they align their works. Once you have a big song, follow with the project like straight so that people know that this is not the only thing we'll be hearing from you. When Jealous Joy, imagine they dropped another single again before maybe another single again, then an album, it go there somehow. But then a single project straight up, everybody go and pick what you want, bro, from the guy, and then it continues like that. And so it's really a good one, I would say, and it's really something that maybe some other people should also try to emulate. Yeah,
Fireboy, I think 3 projects at the moment. Is it 3?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, 3 albums.
LTG, Apollo and
the last Playboy. Great one and amazing fit for him. My time. Moving on to another guy. I think this guy is
Rave Lordy.
I think between Rema and I think him CKay, yeah. I think that now them get 2022 international record moments, doing good. 6 platinum in Portugal, 3 in France. Is it France?
Yeah,
I know it's 6 in Portugal. I think 3 in
Switzerland, and it's just he's just doing he's just getting all of the certifications here and there.
I know CKay has 12 minutes.
That boy. That boy.
Bro.
Don't cash out.
That's 12 million.
Don't cash out. Don't cash out.
But yeah, I'm sorry when Rema actually came through with Rema Roses. Now talking about Rema, yeah, I don't think we've had a trend of Asake and Fire, but we almost touched the same line.
Yeah.
Rema did not touch that line because
No,
you saw
he didn't.
he dropped singles.
Yeah.
Before
I think the Rema and them the Maven's style was
Different.
EP.
Okay.
They announce you with an EP with your name. So on the EP, there are different songs and different sounds on it. IBNS style is come out with a single. After that, project follow. Yeah. But then, bro, now project straight for the Marys and Jonesing. And Rema happened to drop about 3 or 4 EPs.
Yeah.
He dropped the Rema EP. He dropped the one that has is Submarine, Spider-Man, all those is Trap.
Yeah.
And then he dropped another, I think he dropped about 3 EPs, before, or 3 or 4 EPs, before the album dropped. So for Rema, it's more of single bangers than a collaborative work. And then you could tell from when this album dropped, it didn't really penetrate so much because people were kind of used to him dropping 4 songs, 5 songs at once, and then
I was seeing like tune, bunch,
and then we are now seeing like a full, about 14 or 15 tracks on that one. Like it was like a lot, for people to consume at that point. I could tell that okay, maybe we are not like album kind of person. I'm sure that they've seen, the things that's happened. They've seen the good and the bad and all of that. So I'm sure they would work on that one.
Okay, so for Rema, would you say the pressure got to him or you didn't?
No, I wouldn't say it was pressure because Rema is a hardworking guy.
Yeah.
He records a lot of songs. True. So I just felt like, okay, I have collaborations. If he didn't drop them at this point, there was no way some of those songs would come out anymore because you cannot say you want to drop 3 EPs within 6 months or something. So
true, yeah.
So you just have to put it out there.
True. Moving on from this one, we are talking about Devil again. I think it's funny how the conversation is just going in line with their names. Yeah,
you get me.
We talk about Rema and CKay having the year. Yeah, we're back with CKay. CKay actually dropped this project called this one Sad Romance. It was difficult for me because I felt like his first project was CKay the first. I thought that was his album, but apparently that was an EP. And then the first album he ever did was Sad Romance. For CKay, almost similar story with Rema.
Yeah.
Unlike the rest who just came single. I think Asake single EP them.
Album.
Yeah, I think Asake was less than 6 months or 7 months. Single EP album.
Back to back.
But for people like Rema and CKay, they had single, they enjoyed it, EP, they enjoyed, then album. Now for him, would you say it was also pressure? It was intentional for them?
I think for CKay was more of CKay's own is more of the international dominance that he has right now. If you are being loved internationally in different regions of the world, more like he's a global star.
Definitely.
So there are different parts of the world that like some certain sound around you.
True.
So he's come up with an album that has different sound for different regions.
Just pick your own.
So everybody,
pick your own.
They pick their different picks. They pick their different choices, from the album. And then the collabos, you also tell that, okay, like all of the collaborations on the album were intentional because of the target audience. So for CKay, I think it's more of him satisfying the fans because the fans are so much and you cannot say you just want to drop one kind of single for everybody because they all love different things about you. So he dropped the collaborative work for different people in different regions to pick their own, and then everybody's doing well, they are feeling fine. So it's not from pressure, it's more from satisfying the fans for CKay.
Satisfying the fans for CKay. Yeah, we'll talk about the he has joined the street gang at the moment. Talking about Shay Vibes. So Shay Vibes, one of the OGs in the game.
Yeah.
Been around for a while. And then I think his first project is this one.
Yeah,
that's like first album.
Debut album.
Yeah, the $1 billion baby. Now for this one, this is one that I want to know what really happened because you can't be around for that long and not have a project. Yeah,
for Shay Vibes, it's hard. I think it's that 2 EP. No Shay, no Vibes, NSNV, and then one other EP, before this album.
Yeah.
So Shay Vibes is very loved on the streets. He may not be a mainstream artist, but then he's very loved, and then he has a lot of songs that the streets really F with. He just had to drop the album, to further, stamp his foot on the street, and then you can tell how well this album has done for him, giving him, number 1 album in the country at some point, and then a really massive jam chance. We could have gotten a chance to get to number 1, but then other songs came through and he couldn't do that. But then right now, if you check Apple Music Lagos, it's actually the number 1 song in Lagos. Yeah, no, they have no different regions.
Different regions. Yeah.
It's the number one song in Lagos, so you can tell that it's still doing well for himself. So I think, for Shay Vibes, it's more of, guys, I'm around, I'm doing this thing, and then I can show you that I have a lot more that I can do. And it's more of, him trying to get more attention of the people, and it works for him. It worked.
So no pressure for him on this one?
No pressure.
Okay, I'm moving on to, we have Techno on this one. Yeah, I think at the point Techno was used to all these two celebrity quotes. Pana.
Diana.
But yeah, we saw Techno first one, he called it Old Romance and everything.
Adam and Eve.
And Techno is
the jungle.
Is a long conversation, yeah. But we'll have to keep it short. Techno at the time he dropped this one, yeah. Would you say it was one he did because he had like amazing singles before this one? Then it was like the revolution of the time then, because it was everywhere buzzing with dance step and everything. So the album dropped and like a lot of things changed about him, a lot of parenting now. So for him, you think it was also prayer that affected him, or it was intentional for him?
I think for Techno, he shouldn't have dropped this album in the first place.
Ooh.
Because there are some certain artists that you've been dropping bangers every other day.
Just continue.
Like you have singles that you don't need an album because that is working for you. You've been around for years, you never thought of dropping an album, and then after like a long time, you now decide to drop an album. And then, unluckily, kinda, the album didn't really bang
as it was.
Like a couple of songs were like Baba Fana, like no be this. The era don't change. The rollout was mad. Like, I love the the rollout for the album. They had some Judge of the Jungle. They had some cartoonish stuff. Like, it was really amazing.
Yeah.
Like, people really looked forward to the album because Techno has been around for a while, hasn't dropped an album. And people are really, really looking forward to the album. And then one of the things that also, I'll say, pushed him to drop his album was the old Eddie singing that they nominated him for Next Rate End. Like, bro, a lot of people, he had to come out that, guys, like, what the hell? And they nominated him around the likes of them. I think it was during Ruga's time. No, not Ruga. Them, it was 2 years ago.
Rema.
Yeah, them Rema.
What
bro.
Ow.
But there was some sort of insulting thing for him at that time. So that also led to the album dropping and all of that. But like one of the albums that was not necessary, sincerely, because after a while himself he stopped pushing the album. He just moved on and dropped another single.
Anyways, for Techno, that's been the sad one about him. But anyways, we have CKay Blaze came through with this one. He called this one the El Major on this one. I think we just had that on our GNMF this week and everything. For CKay Blaze, what is it for you? Is it pressure at the same time? Or it was one that you should have done?
Well, for CKay Blaze, I would say is from the angle of wanting to show himself. Like he's got songs because he also has 2 EP. He dropped an EP before, the Canadian Loud thingy.
Yeah.
What side of that song again? Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
And then he dropped another one after Sometimes. I think Son of Lagos or Landlord of Lagos or something of Lagos, sha. Yeah. So, and that was another impressive one. So I kind of feel like you should have dropped another EP instead of an album. But then an album also, further solidifies your how relevant you are in the industry, because if we want to talk about you, we want to make references. I know he has 2 albums, he has 3 albums, he has 4 albums. Like, he's hardworking, he's this and that. So he dropped this one, and I would say the songs on it were good, nice, impressive one. Just a couple of similar sounds here and there, but then it's a good one. So for CKay Blaze, I wouldn't say it's pressure. I would say it's at this time everybody's dropping album actually. So if you are doing well for yourself,
you should drop an album.
The next thing you should do is to drop an album. I think that's what it is with CKay.
Okay, I think the last guy we have on this one is Naira Marley. We saw Naira Marley after. I think he came to the game 2019 or 20 before. I think before even then. But then 2019 was when he dropped the first EP and everything. Going through LOL, yeah. And now he dropped the first project called GTTB. In case you know that, God's timing the best. This project, I saw people comment about this one saying it's for no just dropped album. But yeah, finally he dropped the God GTTB. I think he pushed this one like a whole lot and people expected to do well. But then for Naira Marley, do you think it was pure pressure?
This is another album that shouldn't have dropped. Yeah, I'll say it's pressure. Because fam, 10 songs sounding the same way.
You
bro.
could you say?
Like, like people were tired of that sound already.
Oh my
Like
god.
was it on this show or the other show? I was talking about you giving your fans the same thing and they're liking it, and at some point they'll tell you that, bro, we are tired, give us something else.
It was yeah.
But then
still
you
on
give
this
them
one,
something else, it doesn't work, and you want to go back to the old thing, and
It's gone.
it's
And then
like
they've moved on.
You get me? Like that's like the situation right now. It just didn't work. God time is the best, but but maybe another time,
And,
but not this time.
anyway, before this, let me ask this final question. Do you think every artist should drop an album?
No, like there are some people that certain things works for, and just stick to what works for you. Yeah, they'll be like, oh, you never get up on me before, you never. But bro, are you making your money? Are you fine? Are
That's
you
true.
doing well?
That's true.
Maybe eventually you should drop one album, just for the record that, oh, you said you two have an
joined,
album,
yeah.
but then it's not a validation to show that you are this and that. Can be great without an album.
True.
Bro. Before Wizkid's fourth album, Wizkid dropped Ayo and Superstar, and then Baba was that album for years.
And that's cool.
And it was good. He was doing well, talking about him here and there until 2 years ago we had the third album, and now we have the fourth album.
Yeah,
so it's not a compulsory thing, but then it should happen for artists. It should come with album, but then it's not a must
that you must
that you should do it.
Anyways, guys, this is where you enjoyed the conversation. What's your thought? Do you think every artist should drop an album? Or what album do you think you've listened to and you feel like, nah, this one shouldn't have dropped? Let me see your thought in the comment section. And guys, we'll catch you on the very next one. Guys, stay safe and remember, be careful.